Today we're going to have a look at the single guard passing. It's the third guard passing that we show here. It's very, very simple. So quite a few steps. Pay attention on each step. Make sure you drew them well. And we'll be able to move on to the second guard passing. Thank you. Okay, let's have a look at the first guard passing that we show here at Brighton Brazilian Jiu Jitsu. Before we think about guard passing, we're going to think about our posture. I must have posture before guard pass. And also, before we do any guard pass, Chris open his guard here. We're going to talk about what guard is. The definition of guard is this: to be in between someone's legs. You must understand this, okay? So in the future, you understand when you're reversing someone or sweeping someone. To sweep, you must be in your guards, okay? So, this is guard, this is no guard. I've already passed his guards. What's also important to understand, the common mistake at the beginning, you're passing guard and you're attacking the top part of his body. When we pass guard, we attack the legs, because the definition of being in someone's guard, that you're in between his legs. So once you know that, and we're going to stop here in a common position called the closed guard. Chris has his guard closed on me, which means before I go anywhere, I must try to open this. If you can move me, Chris, open, force it and pass, okay? So let's see how we can do this, now that we understand what guard is. Right, I get my posture here. I'm going to look into his lapel, I'm going to feed both lapels into one, and I'm going to flap my hand like so, right here on his sternum. And instead of having my arms totally straight, I bend my elbow here. Okay, so they give me, put myself in a strong position. I look up, face looking up, and I use my eyes when I want to look at Chris. My left hand, few options here. Option one, is to hold the belt. Little bit of a problem, the belt moves. The same thing with the kimono. So personal choice. I myself prefer to hold the pants, put my elbows in, and I'm in a good position. Once I'm here in a good position, I can begin to pass my guards. Normally, Chris would have his grips, which is like so. And at this position, before I can pass guard, I need to check my posture and my balance. So I ask my partner here, Chris, just to pull me down. If I don't have a good posture, this is what's going to happen. But if I've done everything right and got my hands flat in here, I ask Chris push me down, I look up, and I've got a really good posture here. We check a few times, that's good. Once we establish that, we can begin to think, okay, I'm going to pass now. As I said, we need to open this. So let's just look how we open. So this is what we're going to do. I'm going to sprawl back with my right leg, creating a gap that my knees can come in. Okay? Once again, the same thing. I'm putting pressure here, but my elbow is slightly bent. I bring my knee in the middle of his butt, and I open my left knee out, creating an L shape and pressure on him. At this time, I push myself back, and I push my elbow into his knee. Important here is now I stop gripping the here, move my hand like what we call the monkey grip, put on his leg here, and aim my elbow onto the floor. Okay? So we're just going to understand why we're doing this. Because if I'm here, Chris can come and pull and close the guard again, Chris, and we're back in the same position. Okay? So to avoid this, we do that, and Chris trying to do again, and becomes harder for him. Okay? Now what I need to do is, with my right hand, I need to try to bring his knee right here. So what we don't want to do is to pick up the leg is too heavy. So we're going to have to lower ourselves. Once again, I sprawl back, and then I pass my elbow under, so my shoulder under, and I come up here. Okay? So once I'm in this position, I've got a nice posture once again. Make sure that my elbows are not open, because otherwise Chris is going to come here and pull and work on something called the triangle. So over here, elbow, in. Right, this position here, I can grab here, some grab there, some guys just grab their own gi. I pop onto my toes, so I can have enough pressure. Now I'm going to aim his knee into his nose, shoulder punch, and pass the guard. You're arriving to side control here. Okay, so let's have a look again. So a bit faster now. So posture. Step 1, feet the lapels. Got all my grips, check my posture. Good posture. Move on to step 2. Pressure on his coccyx. Posture back. 3. 4, open to my toes. 5. 6, pass. Okay, so one thing to be aware of, in a position that I'm here, what we don't want to do is to get desperate and start doing things like that. Because this can happen, the Chris can come up here and put him in a triangle, or switch to an armbar here, which is going to make me tap. So, and once again, another thing important to be aware of, if I'm here, Chris is really good and it pulls me down and it breaks my posture. Once my posture is broken, I try to work my way back up and find my posture again, get my grips. We start from the top. Okay? So always, before we go any further, make sure you got posture. Okay? So that's the first guard passing. That's the first guard passing that we showed here. It's important to understand every step so we can move on to the second one, which is very much the same.